Welcome back to the channel. Tune in or ghost out. It is a dark day for the unemployed. It's not a great way to start out the week, but we're witnessing the fall of FaZe Clan for like the 5th time, and honestly, it makes me sad to see. FaZe Temper is being accused by 2 other FaZe members, FaZe Rain and FaZe Banks, of being a PDF. Kinda made me sick to my stomach when I heard it, and while these are all allegations, Temper did come out and say something, and while he said that he wasn't a PDF, he never went ahead and said the claims that were made were false. People kind of have a mixed opinion of the situation because Banks is a well-known scammer, and FaZe Rain, as much as I admire the guy for the stuff that he's been through, does have a troubled past. But the alleged claims are that Temper told Rain willingly that he ended up doing things with 2 16-year-olds that he shouldn't have been doing. The thing that makes the whole situation nastier is that Temper has a lot of sus tweets from back in the day. Why does this matter? Honestly, I don't think it matters in terms of FaZe Clan. The team in general has not been the same, and the impact they have on people's lives today really isn't the same either. Like, they used to be the best trickshotting team, and then they just somehow lost the plot and sold out in the worst way. But it's really no surprise. You hear this story happen all the time. Like, if it's not a trickshot clan, then it's a band or a group. People who come up together usually have a hard time keeping the relationship great after they blow up. But all of the things they did were the new age of FaZe, so it never affected my montages and the things that I held on to, what FaZe meant. And call me a loser if you want to, but in a world that's changing the way that it is, I like to go back to nostalgia. But to know one of the founding members was running around being a weirdo the whole time just kind of taints some of that for me. There was already allegations on Banks' name that weren't confirmed, but honestly, Banks has been a degenerate for a while. And I don't say that with malicious intent. He refers to himself as a degenerate. And getting the news now, after everything that's going on, really just made everything kind of hurt that much more. I know this doesn't compare to the levels of what's been going on the past week, but in times of scary moments, I like to go, to my nostalgia. And funny enough, I was just watching an Illcams the other day. It just randomly popped up in my recommended, so I clicked on it and gave it like the 5 minutes, to watch and see. And then boom, Sunday comes and this is the news that you get. I don't want to make it sound like I'm the victim here, because I'm not. At the moment of me recording this, video just came out from Temper himself saying that he did do it, but it was because he was going through some relationship trouble and he was drinking and it happened, and kind of tried to justify it with consent laws. It's weird. I didn't think I was gonna have an update to this video in real time, but that just made the situation even worse. Temper claims that he broke up with his now wife at the time and he was feeling heartbroken. His friend brought some girls for them to go clubbing with. The girls were not of age. He engaged with one of them. He didn't say unknowingly, he just said he engaged with one of them. And we hear that story a lot about the club, ID maybe gets missing, but bro was 29 at the time this happened. And there's tweets of him talking crazy from 2012. I think he's like 32 at the time right now, so this happened 2 years ago. I don't know if it's just me, but at 29, I think you should be well aware that you shouldn't be able to do that. And if the only way you're skating by is because of consent laws, then there's already a red flag going on there. But also, why do you have a friend that brings underage girls to the club with you? But honestly, that's besides the point. This video wasn't meant to rag on FaZe Temper, because at the end of the day, he has a wife and a child that he'll have to answer to. I'm pretty disgusted about the whole situation, but honestly, it sucks seeing people that I looked up to in my childhood go down a path that has turned so dark. There's already been so many chapters of FaZe post Call of Duty that haven't looked good. They've went bankrupt, they sold it out, they dropped half their rosters for streamers. There's a lot of issues there. But even through all that mess, even when Rain was going through his huge endeavors with his addiction and almost being paralyzed, there was still this sense of brotherhood that for at least 3 years has been fake, really. And that's a bitter pill to swallow. Those just weren't a group of people that no one knew. Those were literally staples in every, at least American kid's childhood. I know for a fact. They made a job doing what a lot of us dreamed of, playing games with your friends and just having fun. But just like everything in life, the money complicated it and led them down roads that really left them empty in the long run. I'm not saying all of them. There's still people today who haven't let their problems get in the way or have been relatively problemless. Like FaZe Rug still doing his thing, no weird accusation on his name. Adapt still doing his thing. Apex still doing his thing. And as much as Rain's gone through, his story and all the stuff that he's gone through is kind of what makes him Rain and kind of what makes people like him so much. And that's also why the situation just hit that much more. When you heard about how Rain was talking about one of his longtime friends, probably one of the closest people in his life ever, because you have to imagine when you blow up with a certain set of people the way that they did, no one else can really relate to you. So to have somebody do something like this really does change your view on them. And I'm not wiping Rain's hands clean of the situation at all, because it kind of was hinted that everybody, Apex, Banks, Rain, and Temper, had a call a couple years ago when they found out, because for some reason Temper bragged about it to Rain, as I said in the beginning. And because Temper had a child on the way at the time of this conversation, they decided, out of respect for him, that they shouldn't disclose this information to the public. I think some more bad business happened, and that led to where we are today, where it got aired out. But this one piece of news literally makes it harder to go back and watch the FaZe New York House videos, or just think of the name FaZe the same anymore. While the people weren't the closest and haven't been for a long time, that illusion was still there, and there was really not much slander going on at the moment. Nothing serious, that is, that couldn't be fixed amongst brothers. But when you make accusations like this, it really is wild to see a friendship disintegrate in real time. And the fact that I'm talking about FaZe Clan like there's some child celebrities really shows the damage that has been done. Like, especially with the FaZe Rain situation, this guy has been used by the clan so many times, especially from the stock market times and how they used his money to prop up the company and then kicked him out and stole it from under his feet, leading himself into a world of substances that almost took his physical ability to walk away. Shows you how treacherous this world can be. Out of all the things that have happened this year, the creator of the Temper Shot coming out as a PDF was not on my bingo board at all. And I'm sorry if this sounds dramatic as hell, but it really feels like all the grasp of reality that we once had is just slipping through our fingers. Even the things that we once believed to be true are being shown to be false. Time truly is the biggest decider, and I hate that it did this to some of the greatest nostalgia that I had. And I want to be clear, it's not everybody in the team, but to see this much dysfunction in a group that used to be locked in every day, making it through an industry that they didn't know, it truly is heartbreaking. These were childhood heroes for a lot of people in our generation, and truly is a phenomenon that only people in our generation can actually comprehend. The Call of Duty scene is still somewhat alive, but back in the heights of FaZe, it truly was a life-changing time to be around in, and I think personally it normalized video games and content creation for a lot of people. So to hear this news is utterly devastating. Maybe I'm looking too deep into this, but this really is eye-opening. Let me know what you think though down below in the comments. How do you feel about this FaZe news? Does this change your view on the team or affect how you watch and consume the videos that they released in the past? If you haven't dropped a like on the video yet, please go ahead and drop a like on the video. And a subscription does more for me than you could ever know. With that being said, thank you for tuning in. Until next time.
Transmission complete. Signal terminating. This is ghostthread, signing off.